Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Expert Advice from Non-Experts podcast. I'm your host, Hoss, here with my co-host, Boonkie, and we are here to go over some more preseason football because we're not really betting yet and doing the actual slates. But we got NFL futures, something to bet on, something to keep us interested in for the next couple of weeks. Kicking off football in just a little under, I think we're probably actually 2.5 weeks out. So that being said, let's check in. Boonkie, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Crazy the fact that it's already Wednesday. We are just getting closer and closer to football. College football starts in just a couple of days, and we have tomorrow will be 2 weeks away from the first Thursday night football game. So fantasy football drafts are starting to happen. I got one on Friday. I have two next week, and then I have two the weekend after that. So it's wrapping up.
5 leagues?
Yeah. Ugh. I'm in a lot of leagues this year. I gotta win one of them,
I hope you do. I'm in 3 leagues. That being said, one of my drafts low-key might be coming up. I don't remember exactly when that is. I'm going to take a look at that now that we're discussing it because I'm a little worried.
So you're you're talking trash to me about being in 5 leagues, yet you don't even know if you have a draft coming up?
All right, no. Wednesday the 30th or Thursday the 31st. One of those days, okay. I'm good for either one. It don't fucking matter to me. Hey, I'm always ready for a draft, Sometimes I'll be whipping it. Sometimes I just be like, all right, got the draft board up. But then sometimes when it comes to our league, right? It's our last week we drafted, and then I just try to be contrarian to everything, and then I fucking suck. So this year, I'm going to follow my gut, follow my instincts, and try not to be contrarian, really hone in to a couple of those draft strategies that I have. Maybe what we'll do is next show, we'll do a little bit of, because we're going to do another NFC or AFC East. But next show, maybe we'll talk about your draft, and we'll just see what your strategy overall was. We'll review your team, and then, really hone into our draft strategies, because that's when it really starts happening. This next week, the week after, that's when these drafts really start pouring in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's definitely the plan for the episode after this week when I have my first fantasy football draft. I will be also having the fun experience of drafting in Atlantic City, so that's going to be a fun experience. Never done it, so hopefully to get some luck at the craps table and draft the championship team, man. It's going to be an adventure.
Or you might just 0-2. You might just suck on the craps table, and you might just suck in the draft. So
Whoa, whatever, man. We don't like that energy. I don't like that energy right now, man. I don't like that.
Hey,
You're coming with me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I got to brief you on both ends. So, at the end of the day, if you're sucking on the craps table, but you're doing good in the draft, it's a little more positivity. Hopefully it leaks into the craps table after,
Oh, yeah. I have an opportunity to at least go 2-0. There's always that chance. So you got to be positive,
Yeah, 1-1 is not bad in that situation,
I think in the moment it's gonna be bad. In the moment it's gonna be bad if that
drinks will ease it out.
Okay.
Drinks will ease it out.
Fair point.
That being said, we got some news to hop into, so a little bit of action between the Monday and the Wednesday show, which is good, but it's also not good at the same time because honestly, if we came here with no news, it would probably be helpful to a lot of people's drafts. That being said, first off, DJ Chark hamstring. It's not serious, but we know how these hamstring injuries, these are one of the ones that we were talking about in an earlier episode. These are one of the ones that is a nagging injury throughout the season. And you'll probably definitely see, since it's this close to the season, that hamstring is going to come back up, especially if he's playing week 1. So he'll have a lot of questionable tags going into games, which really means Adam Thielen might be a play coming in, which I don't like that.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a different take in general. Like Adam Thielen, he's someone that you get later rounds and everything really as a backup spot, but he might start getting some more targets now, which is something that we were not ever thinking about being really that good of an option for your fantasy. And it might be now if this thing keeps lingering.
Mm-hmm. Also, Seahawks with their tandem of wide receivers. I don't even want to try to butcher his name. Can you say his name?
Yeah, I read at a 3rd grade level.
Yeah. Oof. Oh my God, it's such a hard read. I'm just gonna read the last name, the Jigba. Injury, 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, because I was looking at the whole thing. I'm like, I'm just gonna do the last name. 3 to 4 weeks injury. Now, could most likely leaks in the week 1, but does that raise up Metcalf and Tyler Lockett shares? I think it does.
I don't think it really messes too much with DK, but I definitely think Lockett starts to go up a little bit more. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes up almost a round earlier, or just a lot earlier in the route he's going now. But I don't think really hurting DK too much.
Well, I've been looking at DK as like really a value, but Lockett was really the one that I was scared of because I just don't know what his role is going to be and how meaningful it's going to be really to the Seahawks with just so many mouths to feed. But that being said, preseason game, there it is, Geno throwing the ball, touchdown to Tyler Lockett. So, he obviously has faith in him. Lockett's been a name around there for feels like almost a decade now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, maybe all these guys just kind of will have value at some point. And if one of them's injured, the other two are just going to be boom plays that week. So, maybe early on in the season, Metcalf, Lockett might be boom plays. And then if anyone else gets banged up, the other two I think are going to be solid plays going forward.
Yeah, definitely agree. It'll be interesting to watch.
McLaurin turf toe, which is another nagging injury that can appear throughout the season. It affects wide receivers and like running backs, these guys that like are actually like fast and explosive, right? It affects them more. So I know McLaurin was a guy that I was comfortable with as kind of really my wide receiver too. That being said, I think I'm still fine with him. I expect McLaurin to really play through it. And that quarterback over there in Washington, Sam Howell, apparently has been one of the best preseason quarterbacks. I don't really know what, I don't care about preseason as much. But that being said, I'm always down to, negatively talk about Daniel Jones. And if he's the worst quarterback in the division, I'm happy.
Yeah, no shock for hearing that from you. And I definitely agree. When it comes to, I'm still not. This injury doesn't worry. I'm not too worried about this, just because this is going to be an injury that every week he's going to have that questionable tag, but he's going to play. It's Julio Jones had this for majority of his career, and you're just going to see that it was that and hamstrings. It's questionable all week. He doesn't practice, but he's going to play on Sunday. So I'm really not too worried. It's just going to be one of those that you're going to sweat it out a little bit during the week, but he's going to play.
Baker Mayfield, officially the quarterback over there in Tampa Bay.
Not shocking.
Todd Bowles, man. Todd Bowles. Hey, I liked him when he was a Jet coach, but he can't catch a break, bro. He really, he had Brady for the year, and now, I think he was our quarterback back with Geno too. Not for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, Todd Bowles I like him. But that being said, this decision, I don't know why you make it. We know what Baker is. I expect him to lose the job by week 7, the latest. Until then, remember last year when we had Money Mitch, when we were doing all the unders on Mitch Trubisky?
We did.
Hey, man, I don't know how to make Money Baker sound like really cool, but yeah, you damn well know we're playing all them Baker unders. We're streaming defenses against the Bucks. I don't even give a shit if it's Godwin and Evans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because they're going to be losing anyway. So I just think this is good for Godwin and Evans. They're just going to get garbage time out the ass.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But also, this isn't shocking to me. I think going into this season, Baker Mayfield was going to be the starter. I know they had the whole competition and everything like that, but realistically, we've seen all the footage of both of them just missing wide open receivers in practice. But I don't. This isn't as much of a shock. As everyone is kind of making it out to be, in my opinion. But it doesn't do anything fantasy-wise for Godwin and Mike Evans. They're going to stay exactly where they're being drafted. And if I'm going to draft any one of them, I'm drafting Mike Evans because he's just a whole round after, almost a round and a half after where Godwin's going. But they're not going to change.
Guy they should go and look out for, Trey Lance. He just went down, confirmed today. Purdy, the number 1, and Sammy D, the number 2 over there in San Francisco. Trey Lance, number 3 overall pick, and number 3 on the depth chart.
That's crazy.
It's synonymous. So, that draft class, by the way, Zach Wilson and then Trey Lance. Everyone wants to sit here and say Zach Wilson buzz. Well, bring up Trey Lance now. Let's bring him into the picture. Let's just make the Jets not look as dumb. That being said, Trey Lance, I don't know if this is the end of his career. Obviously Sam Darnold was bringing up his name, and everyone thought it was the end of his career. If you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, maybe you go take a little bit of a shopping glance at Trey Lance, see what they're willing to part away with him for. But I think this is more synonymous to the 49ers, where they really struck lightning in the bottle with Brock Purdy, and they feel very comfortable with him as the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Brock Purdy, I know I said a few episodes back that he's just the man for absolutely no reason. He was Mr. Irrelevant. No one thought that he would do what he did. And I think he can be a very solid quarterback here. And if you're Trey Lance, you just gotta be in your own head right now and just almost disappointed to think that you got beat out by Sam Darnold when the 49ers traded up and for the 3rd overall pick to get you. That's just crazy that you're getting beat out by someone who almost didn't get drafted. And Sam Darnold, who we all know Sam Darnold is. He's just always going to be an average quarterback. So if Trey Lance is going under...
Average is very generous to Sam Darnold. I'm not going to lie.
All right.
I wouldn't say Sam Darnold's even... I'd put him above Daniel Jones. I mean, that's fine, since we like bringing up his names. Fantasy football draft. Man. Let me just throw a quick Brock Purdy question in.
Okay.
You drafting Brock Purdy or you drafting Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones has the running options, man. Mm-hmm. He's gonna get the rushing touchdowns.
Real life now. Real life. Fantasy football the way. Real life. You want Brock Purdy or Daniel Jones?
I want Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I think that's easy. Yeah, rushing upside, I guess, Daniel Jones. All right, I guess I could say Kirk Cousins or Brock Purdy, but to be honest,
I would probably go Brock Purdy over Kirk there.
I would go Brock Purdy just because there is a ceiling there, and we know what Kirk's ceiling is, and it's going to be 15 points a game, which is fine. It's serviceable. But Brock Purdy, he could come out here. He could light it the fuck up. Maybe he could have a couple rushing touchdowns mixed in there. We don't know what a whole offseason of Brock Purdy, it's a Purdy offseason. We don't know what that looks like yet. So yeah, I'm willing to actually, if I miss out on a top guy and say I got to go and get one of these rookie quarterbacks and I'm just not sure of them, I might take a Brock Purdy in the back door too and just start him week 1 while I wait to see how another one of these guys, a Bryce Young or something, comes out and looks.
That's honestly not that bad of a play, especially if you are going heavy with all the other positions, earlier, because Brock Purdy's not going to go up high in drafts. You know what I mean? So if you're doing those things when you're loading up on everything else and you're really going deep for that, that's not a bad, honestly, play. I think he's going to be, I agree, he's going to put up more points than Kirk Cousins, especially if you got Kirk Cousins on prime time. You're not starting him regardless on that week. So I would take Brock Purdy over Kirk Cousins for that aspect, and I could see stashing, holding him, and use him until maybe one of those younger guys come out.
Lastly, shameless plug in here. Corey Davis retired, man.
I know.
Called it quits.
It's sad,
Random
man.
as fuck.
I
can't even believe he came out and he did that. But that being said, I don't think it matters to the Jets whatsoever. Hey, frees up some cap space. Let's go get Devontae fucking Adams. That's what I want to do right now. That's what I want to do. Devontae wants out of there. He doesn't want to be there no more. He's sitting there. He's like, I had enough. 1 year was enough for me. Now I got Jimmy G throwing me the football. He wants to be reunited with Aaron. We got cap space. Let's go get Devontae.
Man, one, that's not going to happen. Two.
Yeah, it's not.
Two, Corey Davis was a wide receiver throughout his entire time in Tennessee, would be someone that we would pick up on waivers, you and I both in different leagues, and would always trust him for that 1 or 2 games where he would blow up. And, it would come out so good for us and everything. But after that, he does nothing. It was always that we always had love and faith for Corey Davis. So it was random to see him retire, but respect, man, appreciate those few 20-plus games that you had in Tennessee.
I love me some Corey Davis. I liked when he came to the Jets. I was a big proponent to it. He didn't really get to do anything with the Jets, sadly, because Jack Wilson wasted his fucking time. I just don't know why he picks to retire when now he has Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football. But hey, man's got to do what a man's got to do, and nothing but respect for Corey Davis. Have a good retirement, my man.
If some craziness happens, they say if you do get Devontae Adams, and Corey Davis freeing up some money with retiring made that happen, the Jets are giving him a ring.
Ooh. Bro, we should retire his jersey at that point, honestly.
Oh
man. So we got another one of these divisional shows here today, and today we have the West. NFC and AFC West. I've been doing the NFC first pretty much because they've been the less interesting one. But today I will go with the West because they're also less interesting here. So we got the Niners, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Cardinals. And in that order, I believe that's how – I don't have the lines, man. I didn't get the lines today.
Struggling,
look that
man.
up for me real quick.
You're struggling.
But that being said, that is how this is all going to play out. I don't have the over-unders in front of my face.
I have the over-unders.
We'll get those.
I got you.
You got them?
Yeah, I got them.
All right.
So we got going on here. Let me pull this up. Sorry. So let's.
The one thing I forgot about today was these damn lines.
Okay. Doing the NFC, right?
Yep, NFC West.
So 49ers we got is over 10.5. Seahawks over 9.5. Cardinals 4.5. Rams 6.5.
Okay, that's how I drew up the division right there. Was Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. I think it's a little disingenuous to give the Rams 6.5. I expect them to be better than that. Just my quick glance, I would say probably over on the Rams. Maybe even over on the Niners. Honestly, 10.5 seems a little light, but I guess the Brock Purdy, we don't necessarily know what to expect. Seahawks also seem a little high to me, but what are you thinking about that?
The Seahawks does seem a little high to me. We've seen them. We talked about it last episode, and we did put a few L's on their schedule already. It's just because I just can't trust Geno. And he had a great season last year. He really did. And not trying to throw shade away from that or anything, but it's just we've seen him for so many years before that, what he was doing. And that doesn't all just go away from one really good season. So, I would say one good season. So I think they're going to be tough.
Average.
Yeah.
Slightly maybe above average season.
And it goes to the same thing. I can see the Niners being 10.5 is a decent amount of wins, for sure. I could see them winning more than that, but I can understand why the line's there. Because again, we're putting in faith in a quarterback that was almost not drafted. Had a decent year last year, but they're going into his second season, and he was Mr. Irrelevant. So I can see why they had the line a little bit less.
So divisionally, we're looking at these 49ers, right? Mm-hmm. I expect them 2-0 the Cardinals. I do expect them to 2-0 the Rams. Do they split with the Seahawks, or do you also think they 2-0 the Seahawks? Because I would also say they probably 2-0 the Seahawks.
Ooh. I don't know if they 2-0. Let me think about that. Let me see. I definitely see them 2-0 the Cardinals. Sorry to Zodi. Yeah, Zodi, when you're out there. I see them. It's tough with the Rams because we just know how bad they were last year, but we have to go into thinking that they're healthy. I can see them 2-0ing still the Rams, though.
Yeah.
I don't see them 2-0ing the Seahawks.
Healthy Rams, I see the Niners as a top 5 team right now. That's how I'm looking at the Niners. Just defense, I think, is always solid. I think you still got, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and then you got CMC back there. Good offensive line. Brock Purdy showed he could ball. I don't necessarily think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback, but I expect him to be around, 12 to 15 by the end of the season.
But I don't see the Niners going undefeated in their division, though. They definitely lose one of these games. It's either do they lose it to the Rams or the Seahawks.
Well, it's not the Rams, so I'll give it the Seahawks. We'll hedge a little bit. 5-1 for the Niners. Seahawks, I think we expect them to 2-0 the Cardinals too, right?
Yeah, I would see that.
You split with the Rams, or you think 2-0 the Rams? I would say they split with the Rams.
I would say split with the Rams and split with the Niners.
Yep. So 4-2 in division. Rams, we got them 0-2 to the Niners. We got them splitting with the Seahawks. So that's 1-3. What do you expect them to do to these Cardinals?
What's really tough about the Cardinals now is just with the receivers. They still have Hollywood Brown. It's just we have no idea the timetable for Kyler. They're saying it could be week 1. It could be multiple weeks after week 1. And it's leaning, I think, to more to further. So going off of that, if it's a healthy Rams.
Let me tell you when the Rams play the Cardinals.
Okay.
If this helps you.
I might.
This is like week 6 and week 11.
Oh, man.
At 11, they're at Arizona.
Because just the last few times, even with the healthy Rams, the Cardinals, when they were healthy, they beat up on the Rams. But they also had D-Hop when they had that.
And the defensive line was much better, too. They still got Chandler Jones over there?
No, he's in Vegas. Remember?
I thought he left, too. So that, yeah, I do think these Rams made 2-0 these Cardinals.
Okay, I'll give you that. Put that up there.
Cardinals do seem very bad without even with Kyler, by the way. No D-Hop, and it's just Hollywood Brown. Like, I don't know. It's
we saw how that was working with Lamar in Baltimore. Lamar only had Hollywood Brown at the time. I mean, Kyler Murray's a better passer, but
I'm thinking, where do the Cardinals derive wins from? Because we can't say they go 0-17.
No.
But, like, that's kind of how it feels, right?
That schedule's rough.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. You know what? Let's say they split with the Rams. At least give them 1-1 with the Rams.
Okay.
Rams go 0-2 to the Niners, 1-1. They end 2-4. Cardinals will end 1-5, right?
Okay.
In division. I
like
think,
that.
Yeah, they could. Maybe we're giving the Rams a little too much credit sometimes. Maybe they'll knock one off. Niners at Steelers. That's a W for the Niners. The Giants, another W. Cowboys, I think it's a W. Browns. Now, what did we say about this in the last show? We said the Browns lose to the Niners. So it's another W. We have the Vikings here. I think we might have also had them, in the show. We said the Vikings lost, another W. Bengals now.
Ooh.
We said the Bengals will lose to the Niners.
Ooh, all right.
A lot of W's coming in there. Now, looking at this, at Jacksonville, I would have to say another W for these Niners, right?
Is it actually at Jacksonville, or is this one of those random London games?
I couldn't tell you that. I don't know if the NFL knows that yet.
If that's the case, they do. If that's the case, then there might be some points going towards the Jags. They're almost undefeated
they do
there.
Have them London fans. I think we'll have to stay true to this. I will say they have to W these Jags. They'll definitely W these Bucks. I'll say, what do you think happens in the Niners-Eagles reunion game? Now, we already talked about this, by the way. We just don't have it written down. I think we said the Eagles will lose to the Niners on the run back.
Oh, man, dude. There's no way.
We're giving a lot of W's to these Niners.
There's no shot. There's no shot this happens.
But I think we said that. I think we have to we have to be men of word and deed, right?
Yeah. You're right. Man, no, because
Because I said we get them on the revenge tour because we're giving the Eagles way too many wins too.
All right.
So, all right, let's give them the W. Ravens. What do you think we do with the Ravens now?
Dude, I'm not putting them going undefeated. That's just impossible.
We said the Ravens lost
to
the Niners.
This isn't happening. No. This is as a Dolphin fan, I am not going on record saying this.
And then we also said they W these Commanders, by the way. I mean, we would have to say that. So, all right, let's dive back into this. Maybe we had a couple slight miscalculations. But you got to understand, it's either we say what we say about the Niners or we go back, right, and revise, say, the Bengals score. And now we're saying the Bengals went 14-3, which obviously can't happen.
I also said the Dolphins are going 14-3. We really like these overs. We literally like these overs.
That's a load of shit right there, but
we do have the Niners losing one game in the division, so they're not undefeated.
They are losing one game in division. You're not wrong there.
But some of these W's, though, like, I see them winning, but they're going to be tough games. Like, against the Cowboys, that's a tough game. Against the Bengals, tough. Vikings, tough. Ravens, Eagles, those are tough games that I could see going the other way. Some a little more than others.
The Browns this W the other day. I want to let you know.
How can you say that the Niners...
Complimentary Browns fan over here.
How can you say the Niners will beat, like, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Bengals, but they'll lose to the Browns?
Bro, I'm telling you, the Browns are going to be a force to be reckoned with this year.
Oh, my God, dude.
That being said, all right, let's take a step back. Let's just think about who gives Brock Purdy nightmares going into the games. Probably the Ravens. They typically have a good defense, but then we discussed too that the Ravens defense is lackluster.
Mm-hmm. Eagles defensive line is still real good. Think about the next team.
Yeah, but they lost Hargraves, which was their main guy over there. And I just think the Niners in revenge game narrative may come in and beat the Eagles. We also didn't give the Eagles that many losses on their schedule either. They were looking at like a 13-4
That's true.
season too, sadly. Realistically thinking, I think these losses will probably go to, let's just say, like the Vikings, right? Like, I think the Vikings will probably knock them off maybe once, but it could have been in prime time too. So we might have accounted for that.
Yeah, I can see the Bengals winning that game.
Yeah, I could definitely see the Bengals winning that game, but they have to be brought down to reality too. They 14-3 for the Bengals also seems a little crazy. That being said, I think we just got to stay with our Dukes here. What's in the past is in the past, and we can't change it.
True.
I think we got to crown the Niners 16-1.
All right, let's do it. I don't like it, but let's do it.
49ers, take the over. Take the over on the 49ers. Do it.
I'm going to slam it literally right now.
Not do it.
You can see I have my phone up.
This is the easiest over we've ever suggested in the show. 49ers, 16-1, tease them. Just, outright bet them to win the division, yet bet them to lead the NFC if we can do that. Because that's what we're saying is. We're saying the Niners lead the NFC, which I'm actually fine saying that, by the way. And that doesn't scare me at all. I think the Niners, given the state of this division, 5 wins in division is huge. Given their off schedule to the NFC, they have the AFC North, which is rough, but then they have the NFC East, which, in my opinion, sucks. Commanders a win, Giants a win. Cowboys, I think, are good, but I don't think they're anywhere near the Niners' caliber. And then beating the Eagles there after what we saw last year, if Brock Purdy was healthy last year, they win that game. And I think the Eagles got worse after this year, by the way. So I really do feel confident. Maybe not 16-1, but I put the Niners on a 14-win year.
I can definitely see them doing, like, it's going to be, I think, 13 to 14 wins. And if that's the case still, then, over the 10.5, I like that. You know what I mean? Because, like, I can see them swapping that Cowboys with a loss, Bengals, and Eagles. those, I know, like you're just saying with the revenge tour, and you think the Eagles got worse and everything like that. The Eagles are still just going to be a very, very tough team because they want to show, like, because they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. Say, yeah, we beat you last time, and now you have this revenge tour thinking you can beat us with your starter, like with Brock Purdy being healthy. No, we're going to show you we beat you last time, and we're showing you again we're beating you again. Like, you're not the better team. So they're going to play that game real tough. But if you just swap that out, that gets them down to 13 wins. And the over is 10.5. So I'm taking that over. Yeah. And I slammed that over live. Just submitted it.
I will be right there with you in a moment. Seahawks 4-2 in division at the Detroit Lions. They start their year. We have the Lions on here. We gave the Lions the L here. Big Seahawks W.
Let's go.
Panthers, I will give the W to the Seahawks. Giants, I think we were kind of flip-flopped on this, but I think we gave it to the Seahawks.
I think we gave it to the Seahawks too.
At Bengals, we definitely L'd the Seahawks there. Browns, I'm pretty sure I L'd the Seahawks. So what did you? I think we were split on this.
I think we're split on this because this was I W the Seahawks. They were because they're at home.
All right, so we'll just throw that up there, win-loss there, because I'm still believing in my boys over there. The dog pound. I don't know why I'm an honorary dog pound.
You really are, man.
I really am. We gave them the L to the Ravens. We'll give them the W over the Commanders. Cowboys, I'm not sure what we did.
I'm gonna say L here. I think the Cowboys win this game. At Dallas.
I would tend to believe so too. L to the Eagles. And here's the Titans. Now, I said I believe in my boys over there, by the way. King Henry. This is a late in the year game, At Tennessee, could be cold. You could I think I'm gonna give this to Tennessee here. Personally, I think I'll give it to Tennessee. I think they'll be rolling by this time.
I think they are going to win. I think they're going to split these last two games. So let's see. The Steelers.
L the Titans and W the Steelers all day, right?
Well, on the last episode, we did. Yes, that's exactly what we did. Yep.
There we go. So we have them 4-2 in division. Win. That's 5. So we have them currently, by the way. This is 9. I have them as a loss to the Browns. So I have them at 9-8. And you have them at 10-7.
And the over is 9.5.
And they're 9.5, yeah.
That's wild. Don't touch it.
Don't bet this one.
Yes, sir.
That's a quick no bet. Don't do it. Obviously I'm leaning the under by 0.5 point. You're leaning the over by 0.5 point. And yeah, I think Vegas got that one spot on. Fade that bet all day long.
I'm waving goodbye to that because I ain't placing it. I'm waving as it flies away.
Rams 2-4 at Bengals L at Colts now. I will take a Rams W over the Colts.
That's a win.
I think the Colts are a shoo-in for the number 1 pick this year, especially with all this JT shit going on.
Yeah, he's not going to play till the last game, so script's in.
Yeah,
so
your unders looking amazing right now.
Love
Immaculate unders. L to the Eagles. What did we say they do to the Steelers? We said the Steelers lose to the Rams, and I full-heartedly believe that. I think the Rams will beat the Steelers.
I'm okay with that because remember, we're going to a healthy Rams team.
Yeah, Rams at the Cowboys. That's an L for the Rams. We gave the Cowboys that one, I'm sure. Packers. We gave the Packers an L to the Rams. So this is a dub over them Packers.
Like that.
That's an L to the Browns. It's an L to the Ravens. Commanders. We didn't do the Commanders win-loss total because we said they were going to go 4th in the division.
Yes.
Actually, I said they might go 3rd in the division. But that being said, the Giants, I wanted to talk about them and really shit on them badly. So that being said, what do you think about the Commanders? So what do you believe about the Commanders? With the preseason hype, do you believe they will beat the Rams or not?
I don't think so because I'm going in with a healthy team. If Stafford and Kupp are healthy and that defense, I know they lost some pieces like Ramsey and everything like that. They still have Aaron Donald, but Kupp is phenomenal. like you're still drafting him in fantasy like the third or fourth overall pick. Sometimes people are saying the second pick. You know what I mean? So like if you have that
So
team
what are
being
you
healthy,
believing about the Giants game though? If we're saying the Rams W the Commanders, I think we talked about this. Are the
Mhm.
Rams Wing the Giants? And I think we said yes.
I think we
by
said
the way.
yes. It's tough. I didn't go back to it.
Yeah, we would have to. This is not financial advice. Whatever the disclaimer is. Saints. We haven't done the Saints yet. I would say the Saints beat the Rams.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if the Saints would beat the Rams, but then the Giants would lose. Because you think the Giants are better than the Saints?
Are better than the Giants.
You think the Saints are better than the Giants?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Saints, I don't know. They're intriguing this year. Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
What happens with Michael Thomas?
He stays healthy with Derek Carr.
Yeah,
That's scary.
What's going on with the running backs in Kamara?
Mm-hmm. The Saints are interesting. The Saints are, you're right. The Saints are just really interesting because there's just so many question marks. Is Michael Thomas going to be able to play a full season for the first time in 2 or 3 years? Is Alvin Kamara?
And what does that look like, by the way?
Exactly.
What does that look like?
And Alvin Kamara, after suspension, is he going to potentially be able to go back to like show a little bit of what he used to be with Derek Carr? Because Derek Carr, he doesn't mind checking it down. So like that could be huge. And Derek Carr, he's always been decent.
Yeah, I believe in Derek Carr as the quarterback and as a game manager. I think this team is right around 8 wins, 9 wins. They're gonna, in my opinion, I know we haven't done the show yet. I anticipate the Saints to lead this division. Now, obviously, you can get a lot of divisional wins of that, but I think the Rams are a team that they should beat as a division winner. They should beat the Rams.
Okay.
As a third place in a division. So
that's fair.
I'll give the Rams an L on that. Got them 2-4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have them finishing 7-10. Their over/under is 6.5.
We're on the money with Vegas,
hit
so
that
like
on the nose. Yeah, I mean, this is another no bet for me. If anything, for me, I would see maybe one of these games going south rather than them getting a cheesy win over somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anything, I know we're saying 7-10. I would lean more 6-11, just because, like I said, I think the way that we said we're discounting the Rams really badly, but I thought 6.5 was actually a pretty fair win total for the Rams. Even
That's
though I
fair.
said it's a little low and we're gonna beat it, their schedule is harder than it really looks.
Yeah, and also too, they were, because for how many injuries they had, they were like putrid last season. So going in here now, like going here now with 6.5, it makes sense to why it's low, because Matt Stafford has that history of getting hurt. Cooper Kupp has the history of getting hurt. So it could take just like that, boom, right back to all those injuries, and they're going to win 2-3 games.
I'd like to know what happens with Aaron Donald this year. Is he the same Aaron Donald of old days? Also, what is happening with the offensive line over there? I know that was a big problem last year. Cam Akers is supposedly the starting running back over there for the Rams. Yeah, I drafted him last year. That worked well. Yeah, so I think 7 wins. That's right around where they live. Cardinals 1-5 in division at Commanders. Believe that's an L. I believe we gave them an L to the Giants.
It's an L.
Give them an L to the Cowboys.
L
to
to
the Bengals. L to the Ravens. L to the Browns. Can they knock off these Falcons?
This is later in the season. Kyler should be back.
I'll give them a dub over the Falcons. I have no reason to respect the Falcons, by the way. Give me one reason to respect them. See, couldn't even do it. No reason.
Yeah, dude, I drew a blank. I really did. I'm okay. I'm okay giving them a win the next 2 weeks. Falcons and Texans. And then I see them losing in the last 3.
I see a W over the Texans. Steelers. Did we give the Steelers this win? we did give the
Yeah,
Steelers this win.
I
I was
think it's
hoping
an
we didn't.
I think it's an L. They get an L the rest of the way. I see them losing to
Yeah,
the
the
Steelers, Bears, and Eagles.
Yeah, Bears, Eagles. All right, we have them at 3-14. 4.5 is their win total. You know, technically we're a game and a half back.
So I don't like unders, but I'm definitely more. If I bet the over is a lot more than the under, but if I'm doing anything with the Cardinals, I'm touching that under.
Yeah, I would have to leave that 4.5. Just seems like a lot, but maybe this team comes out and surprises. You know, there might be some money in it, but I don't. I'm fading it too. I'm slamming Niners over. You slam Niners over. Let's keep up that good mojo.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, let's move on to the more interesting AFC West.
Let's do it.
Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. Do you have the win totals for that one as well?
I do. I have, so right here, Broncos are at 8.5, Chiefs 11.5, Raiders 6.5, Chargers 9.5.
You know, I'm a little. You said 11.5 for the Chiefs.
Yes.
A little surprised they have the Broncos over the Raiders, but I mean, Raiders kind of haven't done a lot of anything. But that being said, I'm ready to ride.
Broncos country, let's ride.
we're gonna hear that so much today.
Oh yeah, this whole next like 20 minutes or whatever this is gonna take. I think what's the over under on Broncos country let's ride being played? What's the
Oh, easily 15, 20.
I'm taking the over on 15, 20. I think
like
we're getting closer to 27 territory. In division, we have the Chiefs. I anticipate they go 1-1 with the Chargers.
Yes.
Other than that, I would say they 2-0 the other ones.
I would say I think that's fair. 5-1. I could see the Raiders or the Broncos taking one, so I could see them going 4-2. But I'm definitely comfortable with 5-1 the division.
I heard you say the name, but I didn't hear you press
Broncos
the button.
country, let's ride.
That's one.
So yeah, so I'd say 5-1 for the Chiefs. You know, I think, like I said, I could see someone else picking up a win. But, I mean, how many years have we just seen the Broncos get just decimated by the Chiefs? You know, I mean, the
all
Raiders,
the time.
Yeah. I'll give the Chargers one just because, like, they're an actual competitive team. Raiders and Broncos don't seem like a competitive team to me. Chargers now, we're saying they go 1-1 with the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I think they 2-0 the Raiders, but maybe they tie them Broncos? What do you think?
Broncos country, let's ride.
I see them going 4-2, splitting at least with the Raiders or the Broncos. One of them they're going to split.
Yeah, I put the Chargers on some 4-2. Raiders, we have them 0-2 to the Chiefs, 0-2 to the Chargers. What do they do to the Broncos?
I think that's another split. Like, I know
Broncos country, let's ride.
I'm going to ride, a little bit with Denver this year with the new coach and with Russ. And also, I don't know if you saw in news today, they had a visitor in camp today. Drew Brees was there all the practice hanging out with Russ all day. So that's,
Why the hell is he there? I don't even understand.
Sean Payton.
Just because of Sean Payton?
Like, literally, that's it. He's like, come on, let's get this man's confidence back. Tell him to stop doing deep lunges in the middle of the aisle of the airplane,
What is happening with Javonte in the backfield over there? Like, what is actually happening?
If he comes out and plays at an elite level, he's just a cyborg. It's absurd. He had a horrible knee injury, and the fact that he's out there clear for practice and playing in preseason is absurd.
There's a lot of variables with this team I'm not quite sure about. Obviously, Jerry Jeudy, still a good wide receiver. Cortland Sutton, still a good wide receiver. They got the other Sutton over there, a cornerback. Good defense, obviously, all around. They also don't have a Bradley Chubb anymore because he went to one of those irrelevant teams that I don't even remember their name.
Fins up.
So that being said, I mean, that's a lot of their defensive potential, but I don't really think they made any splashes in free agency at all, except for the Sean Payton. And Sean Payton was already out here talking that shit over here, about my coach Nathaniel Hackett. I can't, so I can't really be a Sean Payton guy right now.
Fair, you got to defend your team. Defend your team.
Yeah, I got to defend my coach.
Fuck
So
the Jets.
yeah, I will tell you that I will be riding in Broncos country after week 5.
Broncos country.
Week 5.
Let's ride.
Week 5, they getting fucking annihilated. Week 6, I'm over there. I'm riding. I'm riding week 6.
All right.
All right, we got the Chiefs 5-1 division. We got them hosting the Lions. That's a fat W. Jags, fat W. Bears, fat W. At the New York Jets, that's an L, right?
You put an L. You did.
Did I? Did I do that?
No, you didn't. You didn't. One of us did though. For a different team. Different team.
Now, what do you think? You think the Chiefs will have a better win total than the 49ers right now?
Do I think the Chiefs?
It's gonna be hard because they gotta win 17 games. So
And the schedule's tough, man.
Vikings. Well, I'm pretty sure with the Vikings, I guarantee we gave the Vikings an L there.
Yeah.
L to the Chiefs, we gave the Vikings. So we gotta give that same win over here to the Chiefs. Somebody did.
We put an L. I
guess we have to put an L to the Dolphins.
Hey, I did
Guys,
say that I'm gonna place the money line on that bet for the Dolphins. I said I'm gonna do that, but I did say and I gave an argument to why I think the Dolphins can win, truthfully. But I did say that is going to be like a win-loss actual counted for the loss. I did say that.
Okay.
So you can put can put a dub there, or you can put the W/L for me. But
Tyreek Hill revenge game, maybe
exactly, man.
Balls, we'll leave the L there. Eagles. I think we gave the L to the Eagles here. So got a W the Chiefs. Packers. That would be a W over the Packers. Patriots, we definitely fucking W the Patriots. Bills though. Now, this is going to be one of those games where they try to crown Josh Allen the greatest quarterback of all time because he beat up on a shitty defense. I don't remember what we did here. I think we gave the Bills an L, though.
I don't trust the Bills. They've also, too, just in general, they haven't made too many moves in free agency, and they just looked kind of bad in preseason. And obviously, too, just fuck Josh Allen. But I see the Chiefs winning. It's at home. Hey, I think you got to go there.
I'll let you know. We gave the Bengals an L to the Chiefs, too.
Hey.
So we're sitting here saying 15-2 because the Dolphins save everybody. This is not financial advice, ladies and gentlemen.
No, absolutely not, because the Bengals Chiefs, that's a toss-up. It's two of the best, quarterbacks in the league right now going up against each other. The Bills is a toss-up. Eagles is a toss-up.
Jets is obviously a W in the Jets category. Aaron Rodgers in a ball. The Vikings could still pull up, but again, they said the Lions were the best in that division, so maybe the Lions knock off these Chiefs. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. But, somebody obviously believes that the Lions are something.
But right now, the over to is 11.5. It's 11.5 there. If we swap all of those toss-up games, obviously Dolphins will swap them back to a W, but Eagles, Bills, and Bengals, so let's just swap all of those. We're still looking at...
Obviously put an L for the Jets, right?
Yeah. Put that back.
Yeah, we're looking at 13-4.
I still like that over of 11.5.
Yeah, I think 11.5
and I'm comfortable with that.
Over. Yeah, I don't see the Chiefs being less than 12 wins. It's hard to believe that right now. They do have to play the hardest division in football, though. But that being said, just having 5 wins in division. And then these off games, these Lions, Jags, Bears, that's free with the Patriots stink. It is a tough schedule. It
It
really is a
is.
tough schedule, but I anticipate that 11 wins is feasible. The only way it doesn't hit that is if these divisional games, say the Broncos get better, the Raiders find a way to win one back. But if you don't believe that, and you believe the Chiefs will go 5-1 in division like we believe that, then I think you take the over here of
Agreed.
over 11.5. Chargers 4-2, got the Fins week 1.
We put a loss.
Yeah, I would. I think we put the Chargers as a W. I think I put the Chargers as a W. I'll let you know that.
No, that's fine. Because in the past, going to history, the Dolphins do not play well in West Coast, in LA. So I still think the Dolphins are a better team. I think that just in general, offensively, I think they're just we're just the speed defenses aren't gonna be able to keep up with. But I'm okay with this being a toss-up and for that, but we did put an L.
Like I said, I believe this is a mismatch, at least for the Chargers side, because I think the Chargers secondary is very good, but they can be exploited through the run game. And I don't know how confident I am in a Miami run game right now. So I would lean Chargers W. I believe we went back and forth on this when we were talking about your 14-3 Miami Dolphins. So, I'll keep this both ways, but you might also do the same thing for me right now. Got the Titans at the Titans. I would give the Titans the win here.
See, I wouldn't do that. I know what you're saying because of the run defense. You have Derrick Henry and everything, but
I think Derrick Henry, I'm pretty sure every game he's played against the Chargers, he's not only ran in 2 touchdowns, he's also thrown one. Don't quote me on that stat, but you can look it up.
I don't see the Chargers with that offense losing to that defense.
It's really just, like I said, I just know the Chargers' run defense is putrid. At the Vikings, we gave a W over the Chargers.
Okay.
So this will be an L against the Vikings. Cowboys, we probably gave the Chargers a W here, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
Bears, we gave the Chargers a W. Jets, we gave them an L. So I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I said the Jets win this all day.
Yeah, you did.
And I will bring that to the bank. Our run game is too good. That's what it is. When you want to beat the Chargers, that's why I think they split with the Chiefs. Chiefs don't have that run game, that prolific run game. I think run games, the Chargers they're not built against it. And
They haven't been able to.
Why they're not built against it. They're fighting against the Chiefs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no need for them to really have to worry about building that.
Yeah. Lions, what did we say?
We
for
had
the Lions?
we had the Lions losing to the Chargers.
Yep. So it's a W against the Lions, W over the Packers. Ravens was a loss. That was a W. Ravens lost to the Chargers. W over the Patriots and an L to the Bills, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, we'll just say that one that we split on, because we split on the Fins and we split on the Titans.
So just do 1-1.
Yep. So we would have them at 11-6. Which the over-under 9.5. I think we are.
The
We're
AFC
both
is just
saying
stacked.
the over here.
Yeah, we're both saying the over. The AFC, we have to remember, last year and this year, even the teams that didn't make the playoffs in the AFC would have made the playoffs in the NFC. The AFC is just stacked with their teams the last year and a half, really. We're gonna see these.
Truthfully, I wouldn't bet the over, even though we're saying 11-6. I really wouldn't bet this over. Just a couple of toss-up games that I'm seeing, right? Cowboys, sure.
Ravens.
The Ravens, I think, could come in and, Lamar, if it's playing like Lamar, he could ball out on there. Obviously, we're saying I can see the Fins beating them, and I can see the Titans beating them,
Yeah.
Vikings, they could come in and they could take this W. Even though we're saying 11-6, and that's kind of what we're cooking right now, obviously speaking, we're only a game and a half up I personally don't feel good about that game in the half, and I wouldn't bet this. And I would almost lean, even though it looks like we're leaning over, just spiritually, I'm leaning under.
That's fair. I'm the type of person that I will rather not bet than bet an under. So that's why I keep harping on that JT bet, because I hardly ever do unders. So I'm going to, if going under your philosophy there, which I understand, that I'm not going to touch this.
Yeah. Raiders 6.5. In division, we said they were 1-5. At Bills, that's an L.
Yep.
Steelers, I'm pretty sure we gave the Steelers the win here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Give the Steelers a win. Packers, did I give the Packers a win there? I think if anything, I fought for them.
Yeah, if
Packers
anything,
W over the Raiders.
Okay.
So it's an L to the Packers. Pats now. Probably an L to the Pats, I would assume.
They did have yeah, I would assume that.
We have the Bears. We said the Bears will be Wing the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we're down on these Raiders.
We really are.
Lions, I'm sure we're W in the Raiders there. Giants, I guess we're going to W the Raiders, right? I mean, W the Giants.
And God, man, this is rough. We're not.
Jets,
there's no way they're
clapping them. Finns were beaten.
Yep.
Vikings, we beat them. They W the Colts though.
Yeah, I see that. Do we have them going 2 wins? I don't see the Raiders, because we don't know about Jimmy Garoppolo. Who's the backup? I have no idea. Josh Jacobs may not even play.
It's still Jared Stidham. I don't even know.
Josh Jacobs may not even play. Devontae Adams can't do everything. It's Devontae Adams, don't get me wrong. You lost Waller.
No Waller. Defense is, you got Crosby, I guess.
You have him and Chandler Jones. That's it.
What did the Raiders go last year?
Last year?
They probably only went like 6 games.
Last year, they won 6.
Yeah. I mean, we're on the under. I mean, we're saying 2-15.
Yeah, at this point, I'd be comfortable doing it under.
I think I'm very comfortable on a Raiders under right now.
I'll slam that.
I'm ecstatic about a Raiders under. Yeah. I think so far, what we're saying is we're hammering Niners over.
Yep.
Chiefs over, we're happy about. Raiders under, we're slapping heavy too.
I'm going there right now.
Well, last but certainly not least, play the bit.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Spam the wrong button by accident.
2-4 in division. Broncos country splitting with the Chargers, beating the Raiders. Yeah, Commanders.
Broncos country, let's ride.
That's a fat W. Finns. He's a hater. Bears. What did we say? Yeah, I didn't feel like we were riding over here on this one. Jets.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Yeah. You bitch. L to the Jets. That game might be 50-0. I want to let you know that. The Jets might literally retire Sean Payton.
That would be hysterical. Packers.
I think we
would
were
say
split on that.
That's a dub for the Broncos.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
I'll give that. We were split on that, but I'll put the dub here. Bills.
Oh, that's a
definitely
loss.
No to the Bills. Vikings. I'm pretty sure we definitely W'd the Vikings. We did W the Vikings.
So that's an L for the Broncos.
Browns. I 100% W'd the Browns.
I think that's a win, but
no.
No.
What do you? All right, but the Texans.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
There we go. We got the Lions. Did we? Yeah, I think we definitely W'd the Lions. Yeah, we did. Now I'm not happy about that.
I'm not either.
I think I would lean a W in these Broncos category.
I would too, a little bit, but also it could be the let's ride sound that keeps going. That's just making us think about it. We did this last year, bro.
Us little by little.
We did that last year, bro. The more we played
We
it, the
were
more.
so roped in last year. They were like 0-5. It was like week 6. We're sitting there like, bro, they can't be this bad, right? Let's ride. And we bet
Broncos
it again.
country. Let's ride.
Oh my God, did they suck last year? Man, Russ stunk, bro. I was drafting Jerry Jeudy and like Cortland Sutton.
Sutton,
on, like,
oh my God.
the same team sometimes. I was just like, yeah, give me both of them and I'll figure this shit out later.
I need a
I got a
piece.
6-7 pick. Yeah, like give me this shit. No. Javante sucked. I was taking Melvin, still sucked.
Oh man, it was so much pain, fantasy and just Denver last year. But like, you don't have faith in them, but it's like you have faith in them. You hear this,
Broncos country. Let's ride.
and I'm riding.
It's persuasive. You know, it makes me think something that my eyes aren't seeing. Like my eyes are seeing something, but when I'm hearing that, my brain's just like, nah, you didn't see that. Like we riding though. We riding.
You're going like, no, I'm not touching Broncos money line. You hear that, and you just see your wallet, your credit card going closer to that money line bet.
Just lost $100 betting the Broncos last year. At least, like, I mean,
It was
there
pain.
was definitely triple digits lost on the Broncos last year.
It was pain.
I couldn't. It was like heroin. I just was just like another week. I'm like, hey, give me one more, please.
It's gonna be this
All
week.
Just one Broncos dub. Give me one more. Let's ride. One more. Let's ride.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
That being said, I'll give them the W over the Pats.
That's exactly why I hit that too. Yeah, for sure. I think they win against the Pats there.
Got them 2-4 here. W over Commanders, Packers, Texans, Pats. We're sitting here. We're saying 6 and 11. That's where we're at. They said 8.5 win total. Now let's bring this into perspective one more time. Let's just see if we're happy about this under or not.
Okay.
Commanders, sure. W gets the Commanders. Fins. Now, what if Tua's already in concussion protocol at this time? What do you?
Healthy
Does that sway
Fins.
your opinion?
Healthy Fins. It's an L. Healthy Fins is an L.
Yeah, I agree. Bears. We're
That
saying
could be
the
a win.
Broncos. We said the Broncos L to the Bears.
We do.
Now, I'm gonna veto this. I know we did something, but now the Broncos are gonna beat the Bears, right?
Okay. I mean,
I'll say that.
I can see
Theory.
that pivot.
We'll just theory.
I can see that pivot.
Justin Fields is still, reckless.
We just don't know. Like we need to see some time with DJ and Justin Fields.
I don't know why we weren't riding on this one. I feel like we should have been more excited to ride against the Bears.
Yeah, we really.
Maybe we did. Let me check one more time. Broncos. Oh, we gave the Bears an L to the Broncos.
Oh,
Perfect.
Broncos country.
So we were riding
Let's
the
ride.
whole time.
Broncos country. Broncos country. Broncos country. Let's ride.
I had to
we
make
were
it up.
riding this whole time, and we didn't even see it.
We didn't see it.
I was. My apologies.
That's we're up to 7.
Mr. Russell Wilson. Yeah, we're at 7 and 10. Technically speaking, that's where we're at right now. We're also surveying the field. Got a W over the Packers. It's going to be an L to the Bills. It's going to be an L to the Vikings. It's going to be an L to the Browns. The only way that I see another salvageable win on the Broncos' schedule outside of division, maybe they 2-0 the Raiders. They could 2-0 the Raiders and
could.
go 1-1 with the Chargers. So that could be 3 wins. They might finally split with the Chiefs for the first time in a decade. But the other win is the Lions. I could see the Broncos coming through, beating the Lions, and then really ending 8 and 9. That being said, their win total's 8.5. I think I'm comfortable with an under here. I wouldn't bet it. It's a little too close for me, and I just want to ride. I want to ride more than not ride.
This is what is going to determine whether or
Can you
not.
press the button for me one more time?
Broncos country. Let's ride.
I would take the over. We overs here.
This is what
Give
this
them the division.
we have to we have to pay attention to. We have to look up. There's got to be an insider scoop from these preseason games, and like going to Arizona and everything like that. Was he doing deep lunges on the plane? If he's doing that, you hit the under
all day long. Yeah, you take the over on interceptions, the under on yards, take the money line for the opponent's team. Yeah, you don't want to mess with that kind of vibe, you know. I think Russell Wilson is still like I see lists, right? And lists are putting like Daniel Jones over Russ, and I'm like, listen, he's not that bad. I know he had a terrible year.
He's not that bad. He almost died on the field, also too. Like, and by that I mean just that concussion. He looked real rough. Like, you know, you know what I mean.
He was He was balling 2 years ago. By the way, he was like MVP candidate balling, and then he looked like he just wanted a year off. You know, it sometimes happens that way.
It was just like an atom bomb of just, you know, straight
mediocrity.
down. Oh, it was insane.
Aggressive mediocrity. Now, there's reports that are sitting here saying this looks like Russ on the Seahawks. Now, these reports are fucking bullshit because Russ on the Seahawks was 2 fucking years ago, and like, what are we talking? What are we trying to compare this to? I mean, you have 1 year of the worst football you've ever seen in your life to a year of very, very above average football. But I mean, anything he does is better. And what was their win total last year? Let's look that one up.
He throws 8 completions in practice, and they look like the best team compared to last year. But also, you have to remember, last year, if the Broncos were able to score 18 points or more, they would have had, I think it was 12 or 13 wins.
That's insane.
Look at the schedule.
2 touchdowns by their $200 million a year quarterback.
Ready? I'll show you. Ready? So last year they had 5 wins. 5
wins.
Let's go ahead. Where is last year's like breakdown of the games? Hold on. Of course, it's not going to tell me.
Yeah, it doesn't want to tell you. Now, their schedule this year isn't a cakewalk, by the way. It is a difficult schedule. You know, you got a couple free wins. Sure, you got the Texans on there. Sure, you got the shitty Packers, who I don't think is going to be that shitty, but whatever. Commanders, you know, you should beat that. But either way, yeah, I really think their ceiling, you know, their ceiling to me is 8 and 9. Like, their absolute ceiling is 8 and 9.
You ready for this? I got last year's record.
Press the button one more time real quick.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Ready? So this is games they need. If they just scored 18 points, they win. Week 1, they lost 16-17. So that'd be if they scored 18 points or more, that's a dub. That's 1. They let's see, they won that. Let's go here. That's just a loss no matter what. Against the Colts, they lost 12-9. That's another win. So that's 2.
That's the most embarrassing score I've ever heard.
All right, so let me go back.
That is just a game of 7 field goals.
Oh, it's absurd. So ready? So they would have been 1-0 against Seattle. They won week 2. They won week 3, lost week 4 by 32-23. So they're 3-1 right now. 12-9. So they would have been 4-1. Lost to the next one, so we're 4-2. Against the Jets, if they scored 18, would have won. So that's 5-2. Jags, they won 6-2. Titans, they lost 10-17, scored 18 points, would have been 7-2. Lost to the Raiders 7-3. Panthers 7-4. Ravens lost 9-10. That's 8-4. 8-5 against the Chiefs. 9-5 against the Cardinals. 9-6 against the Rams. 9-7 against the Chiefs. 10-7. They would have been 10-7 if they scored 18 or more points.
There's some embarrassing losses on that schedule, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Some real embarrassing losses, like what was it? The Texans? I know it was the Colts. I think they lost to the Cardinals, but there was another one against like another bottom feeder that I'm just blanking on.
They lost
everything. I know you
51 to
said.
14 against the Rams.
Wow.
But yeah, they won 5 games last year. If they were able to score at least 18 points a game last year, they would have won 10.
So we riding, right?
Broncos country. Let's ride.
We ride.
That, in all seriousness, I would take the under on the 8.5.
That's fair.
In all seriousness, I would take the under on that.
That's fair.
I think at the ceiling, we tried to negotiate some games back. We got 7 and 10. This is a harder schedule this year. This is a way harder schedule. It's not going to be a cakewalk, you know. I mean, the division, they would need to 2-0 the Raiders and 1-1 the Chargers, and if that happened, then I could start to believe that they could get over 8.5. But until that happens, I mean, the Pats game, I think, is still a rough one, even though we agree that the Pats, aren't going to be the best team. But I think it's still going to be rough. The Lions, the Broncos could win. It's really a 50-50 matchup. Should beat the Texans. Browns, Vikings, Bills, losses across the board. Jets loss, Fins loss, Bears W, Packers W, Commanders W. Again, the best way we can negotiate it is 8 and 9. They have an 8.5 point win total. I'm slamming this under.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think that's all fair points.
That being said, I'm still riding.
Absolutely.
All right, one more time for the road.
One more time for the road.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Well, that'll conclude this episode. Another week in the books there. We're going to be coming back with week 3 of the podcast next Monday. I don't know if we've decided yet. There may be no episode. We may record some very quick audio, just recapping some stuff. It is Boonkie's birthday on Monday, so we will have to see exactly how we're going to handle that. We may throw some updates on the Twitter or the X or whatever the fuck you want to call it these days. But yeah, we will definitely be back Wednesday, and I think that'll be the day we'll either run through the AFC or the NFC South, which will conclude all of our futures episodes. And then the following week, we go into our final draft, which is going to be a great time. So that being said, congrats on another week in the books, and we're 1 week closer to football.
Let's get it.